Alright, welcome to the demo for the ray tracing shaders and reshade and PSO Blueburst. I will go ahead and turn them on in the menu, and we'll see that there are, just still some bugs. Not everything's perfect, especially around the UI, I think, is the main challenge right now. But I think you'll find in general, it does quite a bit to the game. I'll go ahead and turn it back off. Just loading into the private server here. I'm going to block one. I could turn it on here, but I'll go ahead and turn it on here. So this is kind of the highest settings you can get out of the box. And then, so we've got a number of things running here. I'll just kind of move them on to the top to show you. So I'll turn them all off and go through them one at a time. First we've got sharpen. So I find that that's particularly useful. Oh look, somebody's doing that glitch. That's fun. So when you turn that on, you might not be able to tell, but like all of the textures basically get sharper. It's a good place to start from since we don't have any kind of AI, retexturing happening. I am using Cache Kashis's lobby pack, and I'll be installing other user mods as well to try and increase that. So next we have the MXAO, which is the ambient screen space shader. So this makes everything a little bit darker, basically, like adds some weight around edges and stuff. I have it really, really light, so you might not even be able to tell the difference when that's off or on. But it does matter when all of the bloom effects are in place. So we'll turn on bloom next. So bloom is probably the hardest one for people to tune, and I've seen this be like a real challenge, mainly because voice chats, or what's it called, the symbol chats, they're like really bright. So I mean that looks really cool, but it's not ideal. However, now we get to the real thing that's doing the work, the RTGI Patreon only $5 ray tracing mod. I'm going to turn that on. I'll turn off bloom just so you can get an idea. I'll turn everything else off just so you can get an idea of what this mod does by itself. So this shader rather is pulling a lot of weight, and tweaking this has probably been one of the most difficult things about this. So we have the length of the rays. The Z thickness is essentially like you're telling the shader how thick things are in the game, and that's going to change obviously based on the game that you're playing. I found that 0.15 is good, and all of my settings are going to be in my INI accompanying this video. So I won't go through all the settings, but I'll tell you some of them that are important. When you're trying to figure out the depth in any game, there's a reshader called display depth. It's really useful to turn on, and you can actually set that to show both the vertical on the left and the depth map on the right. So getting this dialed in so like you can see the depth and the gradient to everything is really important because of like screen space, and you'll see that when we get into battle here in a minute. I'll just go ahead and turn that off. Turn the ray tracing back on. Go through some of the other settings. So we have the lighting channel. So in the lighting channel we can see all of the ray tracing that's being done. Basically it's removing all of the textures and it's just showing me the colors that ray tracing is adding. So if we just turn it off, it looks like this. Turn it on, looks like this. So you can see details like in the distance on like that rotating light fixture. You can see like darkness. Hopefully the video is good enough to show that. Anyway, lighting channel, normal channel. That's to tell depth and stuff like that. I'm not a pro on this, I just started using it yesterday. So those combine to give you your ray traced business. So we see like this person in this chair over here, we can see that they're reflecting against the ground. I can change all of the parameters for that. Like right now it's at 0.5, but I could make that like super specular if I wanted to, or I think I had that at 0.5, right? Yep. Or the roughness, so we can make things really, really, mirror-y, and what that looks like in the game is like this. So the more rough things get, the less glassy they look. The problem is it's not a per level thing, it's a global thing for the whole game, so you kind of have to find the right fit. And I'm kind of playing around with it right now, but I think the right fit for this game is roughly like in the 20 range. Ambient occlusion, I like to keep this down generally. In this mod, because I usually run it through this MXAO just to add a little bit of darkness to it. Depth of field I was playing with, honestly, like I feel like I could probably do something with this, but is really hard to set up, and it seems to be a frame rate crusher, so I'm just going to turn that off for now. And then what else do we have running here? Screen space reflections. I don't really need that since I'm doing ray tracing. So really all I need is the bloom. And the bloom is a little bright in here because of how bright it is, but if I go in an actual area, I think, like, I'll go to an area real quick and it'll make more sense. And of course you can always turn it off and on if you have a kill switch. Let's see. So yeah, really the bloom I think is the biggest challenge. When we get out of really bright areas though, it's a little bit less noticeable, although it's still pretty bright obviously compared with the base. But I tried to kind of balance it so it's more adding to the scene and the feel and the aesthetic rather than just overblowing your senses, kind of flipping it off and on here. So you can see there's some reflection here. If we can actually just turn the lighting channel on to see what this looks like. So if you ever wanted to play the game in a really trippy manner, I guess you could do this. It's kind of cool, right? So then, like, we can turn it off and on. So one of the other cool things is, like, you can see the shadows happening in the gun case behind the guy. It's kind of cool. One of the things I noticed. But really, what I've been setting my kind of entire experience around, as far as like reflective ground, has been trying to find a good balance between forest, like, you know, rough floor, and something like this. This is supposed to be like more reflective, right? Like, all the textures in this game are flat, so any kind of bumpiness that I give them, I'm making an editorial choice to do that. And it's also a global setting, so you have to pick something that's going to kind of look good everywhere, and that's a little tough too. So let's go into a battle, and I'll like fight in kind of a dark area and show you. Oh, I don't know if you could tell, but as I approached the door here and it opened up, you could see, you know, the light from the teleporter, you know, coming through. See if it closes again. There you go. So I'll kind of edge up to it, and you'll see the shadows of the guys being cast, right? And that's how it looks in real, and then off, and then on. All right, so I'll walk up to the door, see that open. This is what it looks like in just a lighting channel. And then we'll see what that looks like when we're just walking into it. So that's pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's go to ruins. Kind of a darker area. Should give us a better idea of how this is working. By the way, this looks pretty cool, I think. It's a nice enhancement. Hopefully the bitrate's high enough that you can see the teleporter waving on the floor there. Anywho, let's see what we got here. Better buff up. That was anti. Don't judge me. I just started playing this game again. Right. So you can see the whoops. I need to actually aim, don't I? So you can see the effect is pretty stunning. We have control over, you know, how much of that effect shows. Again, I think I'm kind of flipping back and forth between base and with ray tracing. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the right values were to like make everything reflective but not too reflective. Like, I wanted to be able to see like the I wanted to be able to see the reflection on the ground of that monolith over there. You see that? And the bloom of these guys' arms. And you'll see when they swing at me, you can see them on the ground. I think that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna nuke them. Pretty sure I'm over level for this. I guess we'll find out. Oh, whoops. Again, I have to be pointed the right direction. That doesn't help at all. Oh, man. But I mean, not bad for a 21-year-old game, I'd say. Not too shabby. Let's see what else I got. I think I've got some electric, maybe? I don't think I have grants yet. Let's see. Let's do Gazond, maybe? I need to get out of here. I'm gonna die on my demo, so embarrassing. Sorry, I'm not like pretending to be good at this game. It's been a very long time since I've played it. Alright, here we go. I got him now this time for sure. I just wanted to use some new techniques. Alright. Alright. That's not nothing. What else we got here? Let's see, we've already seen Barto. Boy. Oh, okay, yeah, that's that one. I'm so almost dead. Alright, let's try and see one more here. Let's see what this looks like. Wow, that didn't kill anybody at all. That was rather disappointing. Anyway, you get the idea, right? RTX off, RTX on, that whole thing. But yeah, I think there's some opportunity for this. I'm going to go ahead and post this as my 1.0. Oh yeah, I leveled up. And, you know, hopefully you'll be able to use it. The ray tracing mod costs like $5, so that's not a big deal. And then, you know, you can have fun doing the ray tracing. And also dying repeatedly to these guys that are still way too hard, even after 20 years. Like, how do I even... Hey! Alright, I'm all done. Nope. This is the part of the demo where I see if I have any telepipes left. Anyway, thank you for watching my demo, and, you know, hopefully you get use out of the thingy, and whatever. I don't know how to sign off of these things. Goodbye.